Ropp Star Gang, what up, what up, what up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. 8:15 at night, and we are live here. Got a lot to talk about, man. We're going to do a recap of last night's game, of course, and then I'm going to give you a breakdown of Bryce's performance because we got highlight tape, and then we got and then, of course, we're going to break down the 53, my final 53-man roster. And then just a lot to talk about tonight, man. So I appreciate everyone joining in here. Zach, sorry, man. Just tonight, it's going to be me. Trust me, there's going to be more chances for everybody to come enjoy the live stream. Don't worry. You know, Doug's not going to be the only one that always joins. Like, everybody's going to get a chance to come on the stream, okay? So, trust me. Just tonight, I just wanted to be me because – first off, it's 8:19 at night, and I just want to get through. Not that I just want to get through the stream. It's just more or less I want to do this on my own tonight. So trust me. There are going to be plenty of chances for everyone to come on. All right. All right. Without further ado, of course, live goal. Always do me a favor. Live goal of 100 likes. Do me a favor. Smash that like button. Okay. Smash it like it owes you money. Do what you need to do. Just that's the best way you can show your support, man. Wherever you're watching. If you're watching on X, do me a favor. Come over to the YouTube channel. Smash that like button. That's it. If you want to hit the subscribe button, you want to go to the further step, great. You want to click that post notifications bell so you're notified every time I'm live? Great. Do that. If you want to take it a step further, become a member. Okay? Other than that, that's all I can ask for. Okay? So make sure you smash that like button. All right? That's all I ask. All right? So let's get right into it. All right. That means it's time. It's time to get into it. Dang, man. Dog, I'm just saying, man. You've been coming on a lot. I'm just saying, like, it's like no shot at you. Trust me, I'm not throwing shade at you. Come on now. 31-26. Bryce Young, 6 for 8, 75 completion, 70 yards, 8.8 average, 1 touchdown, 21 long, 140. So we wrapped up the game yesterday. Finally, this preseason campaign is over. We can get on to cuts, waiver wires, and then we can get prepared for week 1. That's what I'm ready for, right? Our offense put on a show. We haven't scored 31 points since the Ron Rivera era. We haven't won a preseason game since back in last year, 2022, something like that. I don't know. It was like 2 years ago. So the defense was weird though. Like the past 2 games, the defense has been that's what they've been. The defense has been the bright spot of this team. So there were some shortcomings that to me kind of raised some eyebrows, but let's get into this breakdown. First things first, let's talk about that offense, everyone. The offense came out swinging. Bryce Young wasted no time making his presence felt. He looked like a seasoned pro. It's funny how when you have people who can block and create separation, how much it makes your quarterback look really good. Who was preaching all that last year? I wonder. I wonder who was preaching that last year, that this offensive line's trash, that this wide receivers can't create separation. But yet, when you bring in a Deontay Johnson into the mix, and you bring in a Jordan Matthews into the mix, you bring in a competent tight end and Jadavion Sanders into the mix, you bring in a Robert Hunt into the mix, a Jack Anderson into the mix, and Andrew Romm, because both of those guys look good. Even for backups, they look good. Brady Christensen, a healthy Brady Christensen on the line, looks good. All these things came together. That chemistry was there. And last year, I felt like I saw everything I needed to see yesterday. Okay. I saw everything I needed to see yesterday. Okay. I saw everything I needed to see yesterday out of this offense. Okay. Like the offense, even though it was limited action, I mean, Bryce Young looked good. Footwork. He was poised. Didn't fold under pressure. Maybe except that I think he got didn't he get sacked one time? Something like that. Or it was a tackle for a loss. Maybe I think he ran the ball, or he got or it was tackle for no gain, something like that. But the poise was full on display, folks. Let's be honest. Especially that critical fourth down, which we're going to go over the highlight reel. Okay. We're going to go over that first drive of Bryce Young. We're going to break that down. We're not breaking down the full game film. Okay. We're just breaking down that first drive. Okay. You get a fourth down conversion with Deontay Johnson. You keep the drive alive. It ultimately leads to a score. It may even be against the second team defense. I get it. But everybody's like, well, hold your horses. The second team defense. Yes. But the first team offense did exactly what we were expected them to do, which is dominate, right? Like the offense seemed way more competent. Y'all can't tell me that Vanilla Bean Latte Frank Wright last year compared to what you're seeing now is a total different ballgame. Hell, that Twitter, there's plenty of pictures out there to show the differences between last year's protection and this year's protection. There's plenty of pictures to prove that last year's separation compared to this year's separation. That just proves our point last year and my point last year. Frank Wright ain't it. That's why you will never see Frank Wright. And I called this after he got fired here. And I told y'all that Frank Wright will never find another coaching job in the NFL. If he finds one elsewhere, fine. I don't give a shit. But he will never make play calls in the NFL again. And if he does, someone's a fucking idiot and probably deserves to be fired. Being straight up honest with you. But also when you're going and bouncing around back and forth with your offensive coordinator and your head coach to choose who's going to pick play calling, that's an issue. Nobody's on the same page. The chemistry's not there. But we saw that on display today. Again, I know I'm not saying that we beat the shit out of the Buffalo Bills. And we're talking about the second team defense here. We're talking about just the competency that we saw in this offense. It was a breath of fresh air for me. I don't know about you guys, because I've been eagerly waiting to see this kid back in action. I wanted to see his ability to stay calm under pressure, deliver those accurate throws. His footwork has gotten better. And if this game wasn't any indication for you, I'm ready to see if he can make some noise this regular season. Could we possibly be sleeping on the Carolina Panthers? Now, I'm not going to go over. All right. I'm not going to go over optimistic, but are we sleeping a little bit? Who knows? We might be. There might be some people out there sleeping. You know? There might be some people out there sleeping on us and this kid, and fans alike. I think our defense. Let's talk about the defense real quick. The offense was obviously lighting up the scoreboard. They were doing their thing. The defense actually had a tough day at the office. It was interesting to me because the Panthers' first and second team defense, for me, left a little bit much desired compared to the first two games. Really, they struggled to contain the Bills' offense. Now, again, Evero, from my understanding, wasn't really calling all the plays. Other guys were getting play calling, which to me seems that, by Joe Parsons that came out on Twitter that he was that Evero wasn't calling all the plays, that it was, and I tweeted about it. So they had Brad Ezick, of course, calling the offensive plays at a certain point, but then in the second half, and then you had Peter Hansen calling the first half, and then a defensive pass coordinator, you had Cooley calling it over in the second half. To me, that means that they're preparing for Evero to leave. Okay, let's be honest. After this year, I potentially anticipate him getting a head coaching job next year. Someone's going to fire their head coach next year, and he's going to be one of the candidates to be in the running for it. And I predict that he goes elsewhere. Now, if somehow we keep him, great. But Brad Ezick called plays for the offense in the second half instead of Dave Canales, and then Peter Hansen, the linebacker coach, and then called the first half, and then past defensive coordinator Jonathan Cooley took over the second half. So, and I think that's, like I said, I think that's them preparing for Evero to go elsewhere after his departure for a head coaching job next season. All right. Other than that, okay, the Bills offense, they hadn't found the end zone all preseason. We let them score. They managed to kind of bully their ways down there in the run game. Frank Gore was showing flashes of his dad, in my opinion. Looks just like his dad with that low center of gravity, how he runs. You got Bills quarterbacks who finished with 81% of completion rate, which is scary to think about. But again, it is preseason, but the defense has looked good for the most part. They're going to have some hiccups. I don't expect this defense to go out there and just stop everyone, right? But the biggest thing for me is we got to be better at missed tackles. That was a reoccurring thing, particularly from the cornerbacks. They were the ones who seemed to have left their A game back in Carolina, especially in the tackling department. I still think this defensive unit, it can be where it finished last year, maybe even better. But there are going to be some kinks that they need to work out, obviously leading into the regular season. Now, Jack Plummer, he had his redemption. He's been pretty tough to watch this preseason, I'm going to be honest. But I got to give credit where credit's due, man. I mean, the kid delivered when it mattered the most. And he was sharp, 21 for 29, passes for 278 yards, 2 touchdowns. His performance was a complete turnaround after the first 2 games, really earning him a well-deserved tip of the hat, in my opinion. I think we'll get into my 53-man roster prediction, but this could be his last audition. I'm not going to tell you what I think yet. I got to save that for once we go over that 53-man roster. But he definitely made it count. The Dave Canales' offense, we got a glimpse of hope. I'll say that. I know that it's only preseason, but Dave Canales might just be onto something here. Let's be honest. I'm telling you, I think, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, guys, I think that we might be getting another coming of Pete Carroll out of Dave Canales. I can see it, right? I think he gets a lot of his ideas from and the play calling like Pete Carroll. I kind of want to go back and look at Pete Carroll in his prime at USC, see how they were running the ball, and how they were, what plays they were running. Same thing in Seattle. I want to kind of go back and like break down some of that game film and kind of see that. But you can go back and even watch Tampa Bay's games last year and see the wide zone scheme that Dave Canales runs. So really, we could just go back to that. But kind of want to look at Pete Carroll's offense and compare the two. That's something that I've been thinking about. But the play calling was actually creative, right? They executed it great. The penalties were actually kept to a minimum this time. It felt like there was some disciplined football here. All right. Even the 2-minute drill was executed in precision with this group, right? So Canales' stock is on the rise. If he keeps this up, I think this Panthers offense could be a force to be reckoned with. Again, are we sleeping on these guys, man? Are we sleeping? Right? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. CJ's in here, and Turtle252, Mad Chatter, Panthers Prime Podcast, Zach Rappaport. So PPP, shout out to PPP, Internal 252, Doug, Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, make sure you pound that like button. Broski wishes clean shave. Nah, man, this is actually like 5 o'clock shadow. It's scruffy, man. My face was breaking out. I had to like shave, man. I had to shave. Let me give you also some notable performance this game. Amir Smith-Marset, assuming he's not seriously hurt. I haven't heard any news yet. He seems to have locked down that kick return / punt return spot. Has had solid performances all preseason. A day to forget for Jameson though. Sean Jameson struggled mightily in coverage, missed several tackles. He's going to have to rebound quickly to keep a spot on this roster. I'm not going to say where I think he's going. I'm not going to say if he's cut or in or out. Again, y'all are going to have to wait till the end to see my 53-man roster. All right, Marshall, trade candidate. All right, guys, sounds like he's a trade candidate. I think the Buffalo Bills are actually going to be calling our phone for him. All right. But he looks sharp. Halligan, 3 passes for 39 yards, an impressive catch after the run for a touchdown. He makes a strong case for himself, whether it's to stay here or whether he as a trade candidate. Trevin Wallace, man, just another day in the office for Mr. Wallace, man. This kid looks sharp. Racked up 5 tackles in the first half alone. He continues to just be steady and has his presence felt on this defense. And you know what? He's making me eat my crow because honestly, I didn't like the pick. I didn't like the Trevor Wallace pick, but he's making me eat my words, and I love it. And I love it. At least he's making me eat my words. All right. At least it's a player that I didn't believe in make me eat my words. Trevor Wallace is one of them. I didn't like that pick in the 3rd round. I really wanted Edgerrin Cooper, but it is what it is. Mike Boone took full advantage of his opportunities, rushed for 20 yards on 4 carries, found the end zone. Miles Sanders, we barely saw anything. I think he's another trade candidate. I think Dallas is going to be calling us for Miles Sanders. Don't be surprised about that. There's plenty of rumors going around on that, and I think it's something that's going to happen. Plus, we'd save like $6 million, so it makes sense to me to trade him. We'd save $6 million, and we'd probably take like $4 million in dead cap. So I'd rather, basically you make $2 million. So it is what it is. We're already eating all the dead cap this year. For an extra $4 million on the dead cap really isn't going to hurt us. But Mike Boone, definitely a good day for this guy indeed. Jesper Horsted, didn't even know this kid was on the team. Led the team in receiving yards, finished the game strong, showing that he could be a valuable depth piece moving forward. And Jalen Coker, both of those guys did the same thing. Don't might be surprised how I have my 53-man roster, but y'all are gonna like it. I think you will. There's some surprises, and it's just how I feel. I think the 53-man roster should be. Okay. All right, so let's break down this game film. Now we're just gonna break down this drive real quick. Okay. So this first play right here, it's a play action rollout to the right. Watch. It's a play action rollout to the right. So basically what you're going to see here is Young's going to kick off the drive, basically play action out to the right. Then he finds Jordan Matthews, 8-yard gain. Watch. About tripped and fell there. Jordan Matthews does the same. Nice play. 8 yards. Now, this next play, it's like a 14-yard pass to Jadavion Sanders. Basically, I like what I see from Young here. Stands in the pocket, stands tall, moving through his progressions, looks for the first read, then fires off a bullet over the middle to Jadavion Sanders. It's just a textbook example of composure under pressure for me. So watch. Beautiful. So they run a hurry. They're trying to kind of run a hurry up here, but they didn't really hurry it up. play in here. That's fine. What's good? CJ, 2 fans at the stand. 0 to Hero is in here. Broski Bear's in here. And another Swish is in here. Appreciate you, man. Mad Chatter's in here. Appreciate you. Got to give a shout out to everyone that's in here in the chat right now. Marcos Cash is in here. What's up, man? No sacks. Okay, thanks, Doug. I appreciate that. Cybird's in here. I forgot about that. All right, perfect. All right, so here we go. So this next play here, this is actually a sack at the line of scrimmage. So I was right. There is a sack, Doug. So because as you face because he faces a collapsing pocket on this play. But he uses his legs to escape, but ultimately gets sacked at the line. So it wasn't a loss, but he got sacked at the line of scrimmage. Watch. So he did get sacked. Y'all tell me he didn't get sacked in this game. He did right here. Watch. But it's just at the line. It's not a loss. I mean, again, the thing I do like about this play, there is a positive here. Instead of him forcing a risky deep throw, he tries to maneuver his way out, but just ends up taking the sack, right? It's okay. Now, this one is a third down hitch route. The next play here, you'll see, is a third down hitch route to Jonathan Mingo on third down. He basically, this next play I like. He really demonstrates the situational awareness. He finds that receiver in the hitch route, moves the chains, quick decision, accuracy, everything you want, right? Everything you want out of your quarterback on this play. Watch. Steps back, finds the hitch, boom, Mingo. I mean, it's easy. Quick reads. I like that. All right, so this next play here, this 4th and 3. Now, this one is the play for me, okay? He escapes, hits a sideline strike to Deontay Johnson on a crucial 4th down, right? All he needs is 3 yards, okay? Faces immediate pressure here. Escapes the pocket. He rolls out to the left. Throws an absolute dot along the sideline. Finds a 17-yard gain. Perfect illustration for mobility and vision out of this kid. He keeps the drive alive again on a 4th and 3. Throws across his body, bam. And Legette's right there too. So, but Deontay Johnson beat him to the punch, basically. Now, this next play is going to be a boot action, all right, to Adam Thielen. All right, this is another call, another play action call. Basically has him booting off to the right. He finds Adam Thielen for a 21-yard pickup. Again, the thing that I'm noticing from Young, his ability to throw the move and deliver accuracy passes is something I've been trying to tell y'all last year, that the kid needs to be rolled out more. And look what happens. Okay, he's not a guy that's going to just sit in there. He's better when he's on the run. Some quarterbacks are that way. He can stand in. If you give him a clean pocket, he can stand in there, of course, and make the throws. But I like to see the kid maneuver out and use his mobility to his advantage. And you saw that a lot. You got to think about what Cleveland did the first year with Baker Mayfield. That's when you saw a lot of Baker Mayfield rolling out and making great plays when he got drafted there. I don't know what Legette was doing there. He thought maybe he was getting it. So here's the bootleg on Thielen. Boom. I'm telling you, man, the kid needs to be rolled out more. And that's one thing have been very impressed with this. All right, so now this one is just basically watch what Bryce does here. Now, this one's just a throwaway in the red zone, okay? Basically, his eyes are set on the red end zone. He's trying to scan the field, finds an open receiver. But the thing I like about it, again, is I'm trying to make some light of some of these plays that people maybe aren't thinking about. Like, rather than him forcing a risky pass, he just throws it away. That's mature. I want to see those maturity. I know that sounds crazy, but sometimes Sometimes the small things go a long way. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that play. I'd much rather him do that. All right, so this next one is basically he tries to an attempt to fade Deontay Johnson, and it just falls incomplete. But then there's a bit of controversy. They replay it. Then it comes defensive pass interference, but no flag was thrown. Kind of a tough break. There's that. So there is pass interference here on Deontay Johnson, where it should have been called, but it wasn't. You know, and y'all see it here in a minute. Watch Deontay Johnson. I mean, that's PI all day. I mean that's blatantly PI all day long, and they don't call it. I don't know how that's not a PI. If you watch that again, like if we go back and watch this, all right, tell me how this is not PI right here. I mean, he's holding his arm. It is what it is. But again, it's just a tough break. I think it would have been a good play. It would have been a good throw. Honestly, that would have been money on a freaking fade route. Now here comes the touchdown. Now here, this is how he caps off the drive. Now this one, all right, he's basically threads the needle. It kind of is an easy touchdown pass over the middle to Jordan Matthews. But nonetheless, pretty flawless series for the kid. And then that's it. So honestly, if I was grading this, I'd give it like, I mean, he went for 6 for 8, but there was nothing that he did wrong. Maybe on the sack play, I would have rathered him just throw it away instead of taking the sack. I get that he was trying to, so I give it like an A minus. Like I thought it was, the only incompletions, some smart throwaways, took a sack, but could have avoided that. No questionable, no call on a pass interference. That's not on him. Throughout the drive, though, again, Bryce Young throughout this drive, and that's what I wanted to see. Demonstrated clean footwork, pocket presence was great. And honestly, perhaps the most important thing that I saw was a level of composure than him being back there dancing around like he's got ants in his pants like last year, right? I think one of the standout moments, a lot of people might say that completion to Deontay Johnson might have been the standout moment. To me, the completion to Jadavion Sanders, where he went through his progressions and calmly and delivered a strike, compared to what he was doing last year, where he was often appeared rushed and quick to abandon his reads. That showed me right there, just that play to Jadavion Sanders. And I'll go back to it. Let's see if I can find it. Where he just, no, this isn't it. I think it's this play. No, that's the hitch route. Where's the Jadavion Sanders one? I think I got to go back. That's the one. This is the play to me that stands out the most. Okay. Again, the reason why that is because of how calmly he goes through his progressions, delivers the strike. Okay. All right. That to me just shows the significant growth of last year compared to last year. Okay. Now, he kept now, one thing I do appreciate on the Deontay Johnson play is that he kept things alive. He rolled out the pocket, kept his eyes downfield. Nothing less. But this right here just shows to me how calmly and how he just delivered the strike. Because I didn't see enough of this right there last year. That's all I wanted to see. Poise, precision, touch of flair. First outing, nothing short of potent. Earned him top marks for me. It was everything I needed to see. And that play alone, I think, was the best play by him yesterday out of the drive. Yeah, internal 252. Bo Nix is tearing it up. He's tearing it up. All right. Y'all ready? 53-man roster. 53-man roster. Let's get it. Let's get it. Make sure you smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so y'all don't miss any new content. All right? There you go. We got Michael Jackson in the mix. All right, quarterbacks. I got Bryce Young and Andy Dalton. All right, simple as that. I think even though Jake Plummer showcased the goods. Now, again, I could be wrong. I know that Dave Canales has been vocal about, getting a third guy. I just think that there's other needs on this team that need to be addressed and bringing 3 quarterbacks in. Okay. Obviously Bryce is the guy, is obviously in, obviously Andy's in. Okay. They're right. But as for Jack Plummer, I think it's the end of the line. Okay. Maybe he goes on LinkedIn, applies some to the plumbers union because he, won't be fixing any problems here. So he might as well just go ahead and do it somewhere else. So Jack Plummer, there's a great app out there called LinkedIn and Indeed. You can take your resume. I'm sure you got your degree from Louisville. Maybe you even got a master's. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Jack Plummer's practice squad. So that's how I see it. That's how I see it. All right. Running backs in. I've got Chuba, Miles, until they trade him, Raheem Blackshear, and Mike Boone. I got Jaden Sherndon out. I got Jonathan Brooks on the reserve list. Okay. The backfield has all the ingredients to be of a Michelin-starred meal. Okay. Chuba's going to bring the spice. Miles Sanders, we'll see if he can add that splash of finesse, hopefully. But Raheem, Blackshear, Mike Boone are the secret sauce to this. I got Jaden Sherden. He's left out. I got Jonathan Brooks, who's stuck in the pantry just because he's on that reserve list. Okay. But once he comes back, I think they look to trade Miles Sanders, and he goes off to Dallas, and we got Chuba and Jonathan Brooks as the 2-headed monsters. All right. That's the way I look at it. All right. Let's go with wide receivers. Now, this one was the hardest for me. This one was the hardest for me to pick. All right. This one was the hardest for me to pick. Deontay Johnson. I got Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen, Xavier Legette, Jonathan Mingo, Amir Smith-Marset, and Jalen Coker. Now, again, this could change, obviously, for me, because if Terrace Marshall does, for some reason, they decide to keep him here, then Jalen Coker will be on practice squad. David Moore will be out. Michael Strachan will be out. Sam Pickney will be out. Maybe 2 of these guys go to practice squad. I don't know. But the wide receiver group is like, right now, I feel like it's a perfect blend of vintage wine and fresh grapes. I like what I'm seeing out of this group. Adam Thielen brings that vintage vibes, right? Deontay Johnson, he's got the hands, the route mastery. Again, for me, let's hopefully maybe Jonathan Mingo or Xavier Legette break out, right? I think Terrace Marshall's on the trade block. Okay. I just think that David Moore doesn't make it. I think even though we saw some reliability there yesterday, he's got some familiarity with Canales. I just still think Jalen Coker to me brings more to the table. I think he's more versatile. I think he's also going to be, I think he's got the potential to be better than what David Moore is. I like what Jalen Coker brings to the table. I really do. I think Jalen Coker can be another X guy for you out there. All right. The big, and of course his size, I think, is also something that I truly like. So I went with Jalen Coker over David Moore. I think a lot of people probably went with David Moore, but I went with Jalen Coker. Now, again, if Terrace Marshall Jr. decides to stay, well, then Jalen Coker goes to practice squad and they don't trade him away. We'll see, right? We'll see. That was the hardest one for me to pick for it, really. Tight ends, I see 4. I mean, again, they could cut ties with Ian Thomas. I mean, really for me, it's Tommy Trimble, Ian Thomas. They're both the veterans here. Jadavion Sanders, Jordan Matthews, they both bring the athleticism. It's a nice blend because you got Tommy Trimble, Ian Thomas, who mainly blockers, but Tommy Trimble can be a versatile threat too. But Jadavion Sanders, Jordan Matthews, I liked what they bring in athleticism and the playmaking abilities that they bring to the table. So I think there's some nice versatility there in this group with these 4 guys. Felipe Franks didn't do much for me. Jacob Hollister, I've seen him in Seattle. I mean, he doesn't do much for me. I like Jesper Horsted. I like what I saw from him yesterday. Maybe he's practice squad. Other than that, that's the way I look at these 4, the tight end group. Offensive line. Now, this is where it gets tricky too. This was a tough one for me as well. Obviously, you got your starting lineup. Icky, Damian, Corbett, Hunt, Moton. Of course, I still kept Nishman and Brandon Christensen. I like what I saw from Ropp this preseason. I like what I saw from Ropp. I think it would be smart to keep him on this team. I really think that he solidified himself this offseason. I really like Andrew Ropp. I really do. I thought Jack Anderson was another guy for me. Back-to-back games. We've had injuries across this offensive line. He's gone. I think Jack Anderson has gone from an afterthought really now to a pivotal player, right? They brought him initially in as a camp body, but he's proven himself, right? His hand placement's great. His reactionary skills are great, right? He's a tough opponent to dislodge. So I think his ability, what I've seen, has been how he's dominated these lines of scrimmage has not gone unnoticed. The offensive line depth remains a question mark right now, but I think Anderson has shown enough that he deserves a spot on this roster. And I think Rom has too, or Rame, however you want to call it. But again, maybe to some of you guys, probably like Zach said down there, Chandler Zavala would be a shocker. I just don't see it, man. I don't see what people see in Chandler Zavala. I don't see what people see in Cade Mays. I would take Tyler Smith and Mason Brooks. Now, I know Tyler Smith and Mason Brooks, I think, play different positions than both of these guys, but I would still take them over both of them. Cade Mays is trash, and Chandler Zavala has done nothing. I mean, Cade Mays has done nothing for me to prove to me that they deserve to be on this roster. And they're both injury prone because they're constantly injured. I just don't see it. It's me personally. This is what I want. Okay, that's just me. A lot of people may agree. People may not, may disagree. It is what it is. I just think that Christensen, Nishman, Rom, and Anderson add depth and the versatility that we need, especially if we want to have a Swiss Army knife kind of unit. I think this is the way we should go. I think these guys that didn't make the cut, they'll probably find a place somewhere elsewhere. I think Mason Brooks will find a place. Tyler Smith, Cade Mays, Chandler Zavala, Ricky Lee. I could see those guys making going elsewhere, but not here. I like this lineup right here. Defensive lineman. This one was between, for me, LeBron Ray or TJ Smith. I like what I see out of TJ Smith over LeBron Ray. I think Nick Thurman did enough for me last year to make this roster. Derek Brown, O'Shawn Robinson, obviously, those are the immovable objects in our trenches. Shy Tuttle, I need to see more from him. I feel like I've seen more out of TJ Smith this offseason than I have with Shy Tuttle. Shy Tuttle is not a true nose tackle. He's too small. He should not be playing nose tackle. really O'Shawn Robinson should be playing nose tackle, but he's never even played the position before. So, which I'm very surprised with his size. So I think Tuttle, Thurman, Smith, I do think they round out this front nicely. I think that they can it's going to make it tough for running backs to pound it up the middle with these 5 guys rounding it out. But I think Kermeti, Ray, Ali, or I think it's Ali, PV, Palmore, Aho, they might go somewhere else. They might find a roster spot somewhere else, but just not here. All right. Outside linebackers, I got Jadeveon Clowney, Cavalon Chasen, DJ Johnson, Iku Leota, Luigi Villani or Villain. All right. Person that's out, Cam Gill, Derek McClendon, Kenny Dyson, of course. We know where DJ Wano and Amari Bono are, okay? I like what I saw from DJ Johnson getting a sack yesterday. EQ Leota's name's been brought up multiple times throughout preseason. He adds depth and dynamic that I think we're looking for. Unfortunately, you got Wano and Barno on the PUP list. Obviously, we're waiting to see when these guys are going to return. I just think that Cam Gill, Derek McClendon, and Kenny Dyson will be shown the exit. All right. They'll probably find a practice squad somewhere elsewhere. Maybe one of these guys find the practice squad. Like Cam Gill maybe makes the practice squad here. And guys, feel free to comment. Love to hear y'all's thoughts on these lineups. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Inside linebackers, very easy for me. I think it's Shaq, Josie, Trevin, Claudin. I think Chandler Wooten or Tay Davis probably make the practice squad. Aaron Beasley. Now, again, there are rumors out there that Ernest Jones, they could be, Dan Morgan could be targeting Ernest Jones. So they might bring another guy in. Who knows? I feel like Ernest Jones plays more outside than he does inside, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that. But yeah, inside linebacker position, guys. These are the brains of the defense. So Shaq, Josie, they're smart. They're going to be the generals on this defense. Wallace, Churlis, they provide the speed, the muscle. I think they complement the veteran counterparts. I think Wooten maybe is a guy, or Tay Davis that gets put on practice squad. Aaron Beasley, I don't see him making it. I think he came in too late. Cornerbacks. Again, this is the way I see it. Obviously, you got Horn leading the charge. Michael Jackson, Troy Hill. They bring the experience and stability that I think we need. I tell you, doing these 53-man rosters are tough. Now, don't forget with waiver, some of these players may not even be on the roster by the end of the week. Yeah, I know. And I'm just going based off what I'm seeing right now. All right. So this is my final 53-man roster after the final. If we had to make all the cuts, there was no waiver wires or whatever. It's kind of what way I'm going with it. But I do like Charles Smith-Wade. Looked great this offseason. Caboodle, Jameson. I think they're still trying to, prove themselves a little bit. And I think they did show a lot of flashes through training camp and in the preseason, even though yesterday Jameson probably had his worst day through all off season. But I think Willie Drew could be a practice squad guy. Obviously, Dane Jackson's injured, but Chris Wilcox, Condre Mosley, I think those guys are out. And then the safety position, we got 5. Xavier Woods, Jordan Fuller, Nick Scott, Jamie Robinson, Alex Cook. Damani Richardson, Rudy Ford are out for me. All right. Woods and Fuller are the gatekeepers. They're going to be, I think, Nick Scott's very dependable. I think Alex Cook has shown a lot of progress this offseason. Robinson has also shown some progress, just needs to mature a little bit more. I think Ford's cut. Franklin's out, obviously, due to injury. But this safety position, I'm not too worried about. I think we've got I think a lot of these guys are going to get some burn. And I think we're going to probably see some of these guys kind of transition into sub linebackers, and maybe like an Alex Cook or Jamie Robinson, maybe even Woods or Nick Scott kind of go into that. But I could see them being like almost play some hybrid a little bit in this Evero scheme. Then, of course, special teams. You got shitbird Eddie Pinheiro. Who gives a shit? We know who's on the specialist. Honestly, after yesterday saying he had a hamstring injury or whatever, cut this guy. I think they need to cut him and find someone else. It was something that Doug was mentioning to me. He said that when he was at joint practice, the Jets kicker, who I think is Greg Zuerlein, was kicking field goals while he's just walking around smiling and laughing and giggling and not doing a damn thing. So, and this is a guy that wanted to hold out and get paid to do what? To miss field goals? To not kick him past 55 yards? I can't stand this guy. So I think Eddie Pinheiro needs to get cut. We need to find someone else. But that's my 53-man roster. That is my 53-man roster. So I'll post this up on Twitter. See, Doug's down there. I'm going to post this up on Twitter, and I'm going to post this up on Twitter. We'll see what the Twitter we'll see what the Twitter family says. We'll see what the Twitter family says. So appreciate everyone joining the live stream tonight. It's going to be a short one. We broke down the Bills recap, Bryce's performance, broke down his game film, gave you my final 53-man roster. So again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, become a member today. Also, follow me on all my social, and of course, join the Discord, guys. All right, join the Discord. Don't forget about our sponsorship of BetUS.com. Sign up for free today. They'll match up to your first 3 bets up to 125%, up to $2,000. So make sure you go sign up. The regular season's coming in. Cuts are going to be coming in. It's going to be a busy week for us content creators. So make sure, like, what's up, Doug, PPP, 2 fans in the stands, the guys that were in here today that have been showing me support, that are other content creators, go check their channels out as well. Like, this is a busy week for us. So we are going to be trying to come in at you, giving you our thoughts, giving you everything, obviously keep you guys up to date. I think last year, this was around the time where I did like an 8-hour stream or 2 back-to-back 8-hour streams. So yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. I can tell you that, but I'm going to try to keep y'all up to date as much as possible and go live when I can. So, obviously Twitter is a wonderful thing, but sometimes it's better from the horse's mouth, right? So appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure, again, like, comment, share, subscribe, click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on new content. I appreciate every one of y'all. Let's have a great start to the week. It's Sunday. Let's have a great start to the week. Tomorrow's Monday. Let's get it. Thank you, Doug. I see you put Tuesday in there. Don't forget about the NFC South Roundtable on Tuesday, 7 p.m. EST. We actually just posted up our new video talking about what we think is the biggest weakness for this squad. Mr. Hunkadory says, Clay, last question. Is the rebuild going well so far? Mr. Hunky Dory, I think that the rebuild is going as good as it can. I don't expect a rebuild in one off season, right? I think rebuilds take 2 to 3 off seasons at least. So right now, am I pleased with what I'm seeing? I don't think we really can judge. I mean, we can judge what we saw yesterday and what we've seen a little bit throughout the preseason. But I think to get a full knowledge of this rebuild and how much we've done, I need to see it. I want to give it at least 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, But right now, I do like what I see so far. But we're not even done yet, hunky dory. We got to make these cuts, waiver wires. We'll see. We'll see if we make the right moves. I think Dan Morgan is going to be in on every deal, at least the ones that we can afford, because we've already seen him make moves like he did for that Michael Jackson. I guarantee you, yesterday he was talking to Brandon Bean, his buddy there in Buffalo. Guarantee you, Terrace Marshall's name came up in that conversation for obviously they got Mr. Brady over there calling plays in Buffalo. So I can tell you right now, I think Terrace Marshall's a trade candidate there for Buffalo. I also think Miles Sanders is a trade candidate there in for Dallas, but I don't think they're going to trade him until Jonathan Brooks fully comes back. That is my predictions. So again, the rebuild is still going. So far, so good, though. I would say so far, so good. But we're just getting started. This rebuild's going to take 2 to 3 years. This is only year one. So let the cuts and trades begin, my friends. Let the cuts and trades begin, and let's hope Dan Morgan is in on every deal, because we had a guy here that was supposedly in on every deal, but that's for damn sure did not happen. So, yeah, and I think another thing, hunky dory, they better be looking for another kicker, because I think Eddie Piñeira's ass needs to be cut. So that is one player on this team I can't stand and I will not support. Sorry. The guy's a douche. Get him off my team. So appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Of course, as always, be safe. Have fun. Keep pounding. Peace.